Elise.
And this is Alex.
I posted a video last week announcing that we're moving to Vilnius, Lithuania in February. So we have 2 months until we move. Okay, so why are we moving to Europe? We live in Dallas, Texas. I'm just an American citizen. Alex is a dual American and Norwegian citizen. So because we're married, we can live and work anywhere in the EU or the EFTA, whatever it's called, that Norway is part of.
I guess we just, one day we're like, you know what? It's gotta happen now or it's never gonna happen.
We've been talking about moving to Europe forever, just in like a hypothetical one day.
One day it'll happen, and it's just like we're getting to that stage where it would be nice to settle down for a career somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm 26 and he is 28.
Yeah.
And so we might as well do this now. What are we waiting for? We used to live in Austin and then we moved to Dallas for Alex's job. He's a chef and he got promoted to becoming a chef.
The next step, like where I am at in my career, would, you know, have me hunker down at one place for 5 or 6 years. So there's that saying that when one door closes, another door opens. But there's a second part that a lot of people don't know about. That's you often wait too long, and that second door also closes.
We were kind of just like, what are we waiting for? We need to just do it.
Yeah.
So we decided in like September that we were gonna go ahead and do it, and we've kind of been planning since then, I guess. We're not bringing any of our stuff with us. We're just moving with
bare minimum
suitcases, and we are bringing our cats with us. So that's gonna be a whole thing. So we are putting all of our stuff into storage, and we're just going to be bringing, we both have like a carry-on suitcase, and then both of our carry-on under the seat will be the cats. And then we're either going to have 1 or 2 checked bags, like bigger bags.
I'm going to try to be brutal with my closet. I'm sure Elise is going to be brutal with hers.
Yeah, because like our kitchen stuff though, we just got a lot of it for our wedding. Like a couple years ago,
my brand new KitchenAid, so
yeah, so some of that we're not getting rid of, and we still need to decide about the Xbox, because Alex really wants to bring it, but I just don't think that that's gonna happen. I don't think it's doable.
If I'm brutal with my closet, I feel like
he's just not gonna bring anything.
I mean, clothes over there
doesn't
have to cost that much, so I'll just put a little budget aside for that, and
like you just won't bring anything and just buy it.
Something like that. I mean, I don't think any of my clothes is really that warm.
So what is our longer term plans for when we? So right now, we have our one-way ticket booked to Vilnius. We have an Airbnb for the first month that we're there. And then what is our plan after that?
Well, if we do like the area and the city, then we would attempt to find a more permanent residency. It'd be awesome if we could find an apartment for like 6 months or so.
But we don't know if we're gonna, because we've also kind of thought about staying in Vilnius for just like 3 months and then moving on to somewhere else, to another city, and then we just stay in an Airbnb, or stay in Vilnius the entire year. So we're kind of planning on staying in Vilnius or staying in Europe for a year.
A lot of it may seem like it's actually up in the air, but just to be straightforward about it, I mean, that's just going to happen anytime you try to take this big move from one continent to another, so
we're not sure. I mean, we might go to Vilnius and hate it after a month. I mean, I don't think we will.
So, I mean,
yeah, we might end up on the opposite side of the continent. We're not that worried about it. We're most worried about just making sure the cats don't get stressed out doing this.
Which I hope cat drugs are really good.
Yeah. And this is why though we booked the most direct flight we possibly could. And we're staying in an Airbnb for at least a month, and we don't want to be moving them all the time.
No.
And we don't want to be moving all the time.
We're not going to try to, but I mean, if we need to move to, we have a top 5.
So let's kind of talk about now why did we pick Vilnius?
Why we picked Vilnius? Elise did a lot of research.
So maybe I should talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, she came up with a huge like Excel list, like it was crazy. So
I think I'll make another video kind of showing my spreadsheet of how, like statistically we like picked Vilnius. But basically, it wasn't
just like a throw a dart at the map.
Yeah, basically I was really looking at how safe it is and how cheap it is and how central it is, or how easy it is to fly to other cities, because we're going to be taking weekend trips, so I want it to be cheap to go other places. Alex's mom half the year lives in Oslo, so I also looked up to see if flights to Oslo were cheap so we could go visit her often. So Vilnius fit all of those things. We also had narrowed it down. It was Vilnius, Berlin, Prague, and Vienna. And Vilnius had the least amount of tourists out of all of those. It was the safest, it was the cheapest. Berlin and Vienna were like a little bit more expensive. Prague was cheap, but it was the least safe city, which I'm not that concerned about because everywhere is safer than America and Dallas. So like the crime rates are way lower everywhere. So I'm not that worried about that, but those are kind of other cities that are kind of our backups, I guess. So what are we going to do? Like money. How are we gonna get money, and what are we gonna do?
So we do have a little bit of money saved up, emergency wise.
But I'm gonna continue doing my job that I do right now. So right now, for the past 2 years, I've been an ESL. I do ESL tutoring online for kids in China through VIP Kid. We'll be able to afford living on just my income because the rent is less than half the cost. And we won't have cars, we won't have to pay
car insurance,
all that kind of stuff will be cheaper. So we'll be living on just my income for now. And I'll also have better hours. Because right now I work on Chinese hours. So right now I work crazy hours. When we live in Europe, closer to China, I'll have normal hours.
Mm-hmm. So it won't be so bad that I'm really not doing anything at first.
So right now though, Alex works like 60 plus hour weeks, and I work normally less than 20 hours a week. Alex is gonna take a freaking break.
It's been a high volume, fast paced action for a long time, so I don't know. I just need a little time to think about what I want to do school-wise, if I do want to pursue my degree, or if I want to continue with culinary.
Just time to figure out what you want to do before going forward. What has been the reaction from like family and friends?
So I told everyone at work almost immediately. Like I sat down with my managers and I told them, look, like I'm moving. I'm not gonna stay. I know you brought me up to promote me, and that was awesome. I thank you for the experience, but I want to see the world, and I'm not gonna do it here in Dallas, Texas.
So we've been saying like casually to everyone for years, oh, when we move to Europe.
It hasn't been that big of a surprise to some people. Like Lisa's parents are like, oh, we kind of want to move out there with them.
Yeah, my parents are already like planning on when they're gonna come. Alex's mom is excited, but she wishes that we had moved to Norway, that we were moving to Norway instead.
I mean, yeah, we could live in Smithstead possibly with her.
So,
Smithstead.
I think our parents are like, we're excited, we're a little worried for you, and we hope it works out, but like they're excited for us. Our friends are like sad that we're leaving, I guess. But
I mean, they understand.
Knew that we were
Everyone understands why.
Yeah.
Like we have talked about this for so long.
I think really the only like, I mean, I got one unsupportive message on Instagram. Got a message just basically saying like, you know, why are you doing that? It's going to be so different there, like blah, blah, blah. Why you're going to be so far away from your family. Like, basically, you're just going into me about how it's a bad idea. And it's like, why?
It's like chairs in a high school classroom. Some teachers do assigned seating, some teachers don't do assigned seating. Those classes that don't do assigned seating, you still have kids sitting in the same spot every single day. If you just sit there and comfortable with what you are with, you're not going to move around. So, I mean, yes, it's going to be different going to Lithuania,
but some people like that. The thing is, okay, it's fine if you want to settle down, but don't settle down just because you're scared to get out there. You know, settle down if that's what you want to do.
I mean, this might be a horrible experience, but I mean, oh well, it's gonna be like a life. It's gonna be a life experience. I'm still going over to another continent.
The cats are on a diet right now because Groucho is heavy, and
Trunker.
Yeah, so they're on a diet. They have little carriers that they're already getting used to. We feed them in their carriers every day.
He's right there off screen.
It's only 14 hours. We're going directly from Dallas to JFK, JFK to Moscow, Moscow to Vilnius, and like short layovers.
I'm sure there's like a tranquilizer that'll knock him out for 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
There's some sort of
we need to talk to the vet.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go in really shortly. I'm gonna make another video kind of more in depth. Groucho is climbing on everything. More in depth about like our to-do list and like what we've gotten done and what we still need to get done and kind of step by step how to do it.
I really haven't been that much of a part of the plan, but Elise
yes, you have.
Elise has been phenomenal with the amount of research that she's
I like researching all of it. So it's fun to me. It's really not been that hard so far. I'm sure like the week before it'll be stressful, but honestly the hardest thing was just kind of like, okay, we're really gonna do this. We both have always been kind of like, we don't want to just settle in one place right now. At first we were thinking, oh, we need to decide where are we gonna live forever, but now it's just like, we're going for a year. If we don't like it, we come home. Like, I mean, if we want to come home after 6 months, we can. If we want to come home after 1 month, we can. I mean, we're not going to, but it doesn't have to be like a life or death, like, what are we doing with the rest of our lives right now? Like, just do what you want to do.
I refuse to let it be like that. It's just...
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're so excited. Every day we're like, oh, when we move to Europe, blah, blah, blah. Like, whenever there's bad traffic, we're like, in 2 months, we will not have to drive anymore.
I mean, we'll have to deal with the train and
we'll have to deal with public transportation stress, but like, I don't even care. I would much rather ride public transportation than drive a car. I'm so excited not to drive for a year. Driving in Texas is just
so bad. Houston, I'm looking at you. That's something actually really quick. I've had so many coworkers go, man, I wish I could do that, and you really can.
You can. We're not rich.
by any
we're
means.
Not rich. Like,
and I guarantee you, some of these servers that I'm talking to make more an hour than I do, and they definitely have the money to do it.
If you want to do this, you can do it. Honestly, I would feel way better if we had more money saved up before we were doing this. I mean, you can always be like, oh, I should wait till I have more. No. We waited, we found a good flight deal, and we have a good Airbnb deal.
There is a method to the madness. There is a plan.
You need to save up to be able to do this. So, like, some people maybe couldn't. But you don't need to be
saving. I feel like when I told my GM, she was like, oh, can I borrow $5,000? It's like, no, like, I don't have $20,000 saved up to do this, but...
No. And you also, like, this has just been a priority for us. Of, like, yeah, there are things that we could have done or could have bought here, but this is more important. And when we get there, we're gonna have to live budget life, probably, but...
I mean,
it's worth it. It is worth it for us to be able to work less and spend time together and, like, have an adventure together.
Like where I'm going with my career would start to become 55, 60, 65, 70-hour work weeks. And it would just keep climbing.
It's stupid to waste your life working when you could not.
I want to believe it's possible, and I mean,
We'll
if
let
we're
you
doing
know.
yeah, we'll
In
let
a
you
year.
know if we succeed. So,
Yeah, we'll be back with more videos about this, I guess.
I
And
hope
when we
that
get to
answers some of your
Europe.
questions.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you are like Lithuanian, or if you've lived in Vilnius, or if you live there now, or anything, please talk to us, because I think I've watched every single YouTube video about Vilnius.
She probably has.
And I need more. So if you have any suggestions of Lithuanian people to watch, or like if you're Lithuanian, I don't know, talk to us, follow us on this adventure.
So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.